Hi guys, it's Sarah. We're going to make some mug cakes today. So you should have all of these ingredients around home. They're real common baking ingredients. So I hope you enjoy the program today. The first one we're doing is an apple crumble mug cake. So the first thing you do is you chop up your apples. So this is one large Granny Smith apple. Comes out to about 1.5 cups worth when it's all diced up. If you have smaller apples, you might have to use 1.5 to get your 1.5 cups of apples. So after you dice them up, just stick them in your cup. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add 1 teaspoon of brown sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon cinnamon, and a dash of nutmeg to your apples. So we will stir it up so the apples get a nice coating of the sugar and spices, just like that. Looks pretty good. So this mug cake we have to microwave 2 times. So we will put this in there for 2 minutes to make the apples soft. So, and just so you know, the power on microwaves varies, so it may take a little bit less if you have a high-powered microwave. It might take a little bit more if it's not quite so powerful. Ours is a little old here, so I might be adding a few seconds to make sure everything's done. Okay, so while those are getting soft, what you need to do for the crumble part, gather 2 tablespoons of old-fashioned oats, 1.5 teaspoons of flour, 1 teaspoon of 1 teaspoon of brown sugar, sorry about that, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now this is what we're using for our crumble. So you will melt about a teaspoon of butter. If it's a little bit more than that, that's fine. So we'll just add the butter to this mixture and mix it up really good. Make sure you get everything off of the bottom so you don't have just a bunch of flour sitting on the bottom of your cup. And this is going to be the crumble. So once our apples are soft, we will add this to the top, and then it goes back into the microwave. All right, so I have this all mixed up so you can kind of see here. It's just kind of a nice little sugar coating on our oats. So let's check our apples. Got about 40 more seconds on those. So once we put the crumble on top, we're going to put it back in the microwave anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds depending on the strength of your microwave. So just a couple more seconds here, and then the first stage will be done. Smell the cinnamon and apples already. So they're starting to get soft in here. They're nice and hot. You can see the steam coming off. That's good. So we'll just put this right on top. And I kind of spread it around a little bit, give it a little zhuzh on top, make it look nice. And then back into the microwave for, I'm going to put it in 40 seconds for this microwave because it's low powered, but typically it should only take about another 30 seconds. And that is going to crisp up the top there. So while that is cooking, the next one we are going to make is a Snickerdoodle mug cake. Okay, so the first thing you need is a 1/4 cup of flour plus 2 tablespoons, so all of that together, 2 tablespoons of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. So all of that will go into your mug. And give it a nice stir so everything is mixed up and incorporated really well. There we go. So let's check on our apple crisp. All right, so here is our apple crisp mug cake. Looks pretty good, smells really good. So we will give that a taste later. It's hot, let it cool down. All right, so back to the Snickerdoodle mug cake. So we have all of our dry ingredients in here, so I've stirred it up real good. So then we want to add 2 tablespoons of butter, melted butter, I might add, and then a 1/4 cup of milk and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. All right, so just mix this right up. Make sure you're scraping along the bottom of your cup because you want to make sure you get all of the flour and other dry ingredients off of the bottom. Okay, so here is the batter for our Snickerdoodle mug cake. Okay, so you're going to want to microwave this for about 1.5 minutes. Once again, if you have a low-powered microwave, you might need a little bit longer. If it's high-powered, you'd probably only need 1 minute. Alright, so I stuck mine in the microwave for 1 minute and 40 seconds. We'll see what it looks like when it's all done. And the last one I'm doing today is a chocolate mug cake. Can't go wrong with chocolate. It's my favorite. So we have 3 tablespoons of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons cocoa powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon baking powder in here. So we just dump that right into our mug. Give it a good stir. Make sure everything's combined and we don't have any separation in there. All right. So then comes 3 tablespoons of milk, 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and a splash of vanilla. Really good. And like with the Snickerdoodle cake, make sure you get all of the dry ingredients from the bottom when you're mixing. And with this mug cake, we're actually adding some chocolate chips as well. This is optional. You don't have to do this, or you can use white chocolate chips or anything else that you would like. So we'll put 3 tablespoons of chocolate chips in. Just like that. All right, so sounds like our Snickerdoodle mug cake is done, so let's take a peek at that. Oh yeah, I put it in for an extra 10 seconds on our microwave since it's low powered, and it looks like it's absolutely perfect. So here is this mug cake. So I'll take a scoop out and you can see the cake in there. It looks pretty good. It's definitely done. So last but not least, we will microwave our chocolate cake. Okay, so 1.5 minutes for this one. Once again, I'm going to put it in for an extra 10 seconds for our low-powered microwave. Your times may vary. There's no eggs in any of these mug cakes, so if they are a little underdone, If you like them gooey, that's fine, because there's not going to be any health issues with eating raw eggs. You know, everything in these is okay to, you know, go ahead and eat. So if you prefer your chocolate cake a little molten in the center, you can do it for a few seconds less, and then it'll be nice and gooey for you. A little tip on the mugs. So make sure you use a nice tall mug like this, and the straighter the better. You don't want one that flares out too much, because that will create uneven cooking inside the mug. So the taller and straighter it is, the better. Get a better product that way. About 20 more seconds on our chocolate mug cake, and then we'll check that one out and see how good it looks. So here's an example of what it does look like if you want it gooey in the center and you don't cook it quite as long. The center is still a little bit runny, so it's kind of like one of those molten lava cakes, which are really good. Looks like I might need 10 more seconds. This is our lovely microwave here. There we go. So, and it's kind of hard to see, you know, inside the mugs, but here are what the mug cakes look like if you decide to dump it out into a bowl. Here's the apple crisp, and then our Snickerdoodle. All right. And here is our chocolate mug cake ready to go. So then when we take it out, you can still see the chunks of chocolate chips that are all nice and melty in there, and your beautiful moist cake. So there we go, friends. I hope you enjoyed this today. Let me know what you think about these great recipes. Have a good day.